You're sitting in your homes, and then all of a sudden, the lights switch off. It turns out to be a power outage. For many of us, power outages are an uncommon occurrence. But for hundreds of millions of people across the world, including these girls, power outages are their daily reality. Let's look at the country of Sri Lanka, for example. The country is currently recovering from its economic and energy crisis caused by their economic instabilities. At the height of their energy crisis, there was a significant portion of the population left without electricity for up to 13 hours a day. That lasted on for several months. On top of that, there were long lines of people waiting for their fuel, only for them to be turned away at the last second. Well, there's a root cause behind all this, and that is that Sri Lanka has been over-reliant on fossil fuel energy sources. To put this into perspective, roughly 65% of Sri Lanka's electricity comes from coal and oil. There are two non-renewable energy sources. As we know, these are very bad for the environment. And what's important to note is that during the crisis, they were importing these sources from other countries. And as a result, coal and oil prices have went up significantly. And therefore, a lot of people were unable to get access to electricity. Well, the solution to Sri Lanka's energy crisis is actually right in front of them, and that is solar energy. Currently, only 5% of Sri Lanka's electricity comes from solar sources. And I say that's very underwhelming, because Sri Lanka has tremendous potential for solar production. As you see on your map, a lot of parts of the country are colored in orange and red, meaning that it receives lots and lots of sunlight. To put this to the test, I used a solar simulation software that was able to predict the efficiency of two solar panel systems in two different parts of the country, one in a rural location and one in an urban location. The software that I used gave me a rating from 0 to 1, showing how efficient these systems were. The rural location had a rating of 0.802, meaning it was doing quite well. In contrast, the one in the urban location, specifically in the capital city of Colombo, did considerably worse, with a rating of 0.597. Well, the results of my experiment led me to make a very important insight, and that is the solar solution in Sri Lanka cannot be a one-size-fits-all approach. The first reason why: a lot of parts of the country receive heavy rains during the monsoon season, and that affected the rating for the capital city. Secondly, solar energy is not readily accessible for everyone. In reality, the people who have access to solar panel systems are usually rich and live in the urban areas and the rich parts of the country. And the people who are typically poor, you won't find them having access to these panel systems. Despite all this, I still believe solar can still be a viable solution to Sri Lanka's energy crisis. And remember, solar is not just the future for Sri Lanka, but it's the world's future for sustainable energy. Thank you.